HDFC Bank, the country's largest private sector bank, which has 180,000 employees after adding 29,000 in the last year, has experienced an attrition level of over 30%. More concerning is the entry level, where the attrition ranges from 40 to 50%. The HDFC Bank has 13 levels under the Chief Executive Officer. The attrition rate is between 20 and 30% for the 4 levels just above the entry level, and in the top half, the rate is in the single digits. Is HDFC Bank an isolated example? Hardly. Look at Axis Bank, which has close to 92,000 employees. Among its sales teams and branches, which are the front lines, Axis Bank has an attrition level of 33 to 35%. The bank's MD and CEO, Amitabh Chaudhry, emphasizes that the overall attrition rate of the bank has remained in the same zone for quite some time. All the institutions, at least the ones we compete with, are used to this kind of attrition rate, and they have been operating quite well through that period without seeing a large jump in staff cost because the attrition rates are high. Another private sector lender, Yes Bank, is experiencing an attrition rate of 43%, which is again mainly contributed by the frontline staff. Yes Bank MD and CEO Prashant Kumar said the bank is working towards reducing the overall rate to 25 to 30%. Banks are experiencing this high attrition rate amid a sharp rise in credit offtake, particularly retail loans like home and auto loans. According to the latest RBI data, non-food credit growth was 16.3% year-on-year in June, while retail loans grew at a faster pace, 20.9%, driven by housing and vehicle loans. Churning at the front lines also comes when many banks are expanding their branches rapidly. HDFC Bank has added 1,482 branches in the last 12 months alone and expects the same momentum to continue for the next few years. So why is frontline attrition in private banks so high?
So there is a very high pursuit of growth amongst the private bank, especially in the retail lending space. That's kind of widening the demand supply gap. Average operating plans, for all these private banks indicate that there would be a 13 to 14% increase in the manpower projection. So a lot of private banks are now diversifying in the retail lending space, and that adds on to the demands to an already widened gap. Most recruitment demand is coming from tier 1 and metro cities. And there the average salaries paid to these individuals is around 20 to 25,000, including incentives. And that's the average. And that makes them a very easy prey for other banks and NBFCs to poach them with a 10, 15, 20% hike. With a focus on speedy hiring and deployment, a lot of banks are compromising on the induction and training part, which has a direct impact on the productivity, and that pressure leads to attrition.
The high attrition rate among frontline staff can lead to disruption of customer services. Against this backdrop, what can the banks do to fix it?
We feel that new hire induction and product trainings is extremely important because that helps a new hire settle down into the ecosystem of the banks and NBFCs well. What we are witnessing now, and it's a recent trend, is a lot of private banks and NBFCs are actually fast-tracking the growth of high performers by either absorbing them from a temporary role to a permanent role or promoting them to a supervisor level. This helps, individuals who are in that position, get a feel that, this could be a future career option for them and they can grow to a higher supervisory level. Finally, while the money can never be a permanent fix, but we also, strongly advise our, clients that, annual salary hikes, a constructive annual salary hikes, especially for the frontline sales force, creates a sense of stickiness amongst them because then they feel that, they are part of the growth.
M.K. Jain, who retired as RBI Deputy Governor in June this year, had said in a speech in May that attrition and high employee turnover lead to loss of institutional knowledge, disruption in services, and increased recruitment costs. As such, private banks would do well to bring attrition under control before it imposes further costs on them.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.